People were like, a what? A Black Film Festival in Denton? I mean, why? When we started, we didn't know what we were doing. We had the festival in January, but we didn't even have a venue to have the screenings in August. So all those things really happened in, what, 4 months? You know, so we got the venue to screen in, and then we had no background in film, so we had to find the films. So all of them were invitational films. And then we had to figure out, how do we make people aware of the festival? For us to pull that off, in January, we thought was really great, and so it was a rush.
We went to a film festival, local film festival, and my husband came up with the idea of, why don't we do a film festival? You know, as a fundraiser kind of for the scholarship fund. And I thought, yeah, right. I'm a late adapter. I don't just jump and stuff. But he talked to a couple other women friends of ours, and they were serious. They started meeting for breakfast. And, you know, this film festival idea, I've got, wow, they're really going to do it. So I jumped on board and got involved in the operational aspect of it, and then also worked on the film programming team. And I found film really fascinating.
So the festival began 7 years ago. We had planning probably 6 people, maybe 7 people. And today, planning, we have probably 25, 35. We screened 13 films our first year. We screened 136 last year.
It's more than it's understanding, you know, film and being able to work with people. There are a lot of the skills that you need aren't necessarily, you don't have to be a filmmaker to be able to be a director of a, you know, festival or work on that part. We were more like event planning people. So we had an approach too. We weren't approaching it from an industry standpoint. We were approaching it from an audience standpoint. Like, you know, what are the kinds of films and things that people want to see? What's important to the community?
There are a lot of things we do not know about Black history, Black culture, things that are not there. We find things all the time about Black history, Black culture, not African American, you know, culture, but just Black culture that, you know, makes you pause to say, oh, I didn't know that. Depending on where you are, you have different cultural orientations, but you're still Black. For Black people in particular, as a whole, we know very little about each other, right? Because we're segmented. And that's why we were really careful to say it's not an African American film festival, right? It's a Black film festival, which constitutes all people of African origin. The goal on my part would be to reduce the differences and make it a point where we can be very similar in terms of our understanding of some of the challenges and opportunities we face. And then we began there, and then we kind of sweep out. The films are not just Black films, they're just films which has some Black person or persons in them, and they're talking about opportunities and challenges that we all face.
We want films that entertain, educate, inspire. But we also, part of our festival, it's about sharing Black culture, and it's about building community.